Oh, Pog.
Hey, Catherine, it's us. Got any new commissions? Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps? You know we're worth it for quality work.
Should I turn off SR for this?
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see. Actually, we do in fact have a rather urgent commission
Probably,
that is
yeah.
still open.
I'll leave it on low
Having read
volume,
the
it's fine.
details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
To put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues and is currently unable to perform the role. But the troupe has
Why are there
also
so
been
many fucking
experiencing
porn
some
bots on
financial
Twitter, dude?
difficulties. So unfortunately, they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
I guess I have to stop blocking them.
That does sound like a tricky situation. So basically, they're looking for a volunteer?
Let's go on second channel.
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many
don't
actresses,
know.
but none of them were willing to take the job.
Is it really, really
There
good?
are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show.
I
And
haven't done a
delays
story
tend to
quest in, like,
create all sorts of new
over a year.
problems.
Got it. Oh, this one's a doozy.
So,
What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas? Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there.
Chad, did you
Maybe
hear about the
you
man
can't
who
fill the
got
role
into
yourself,
a peekaboo in
but
accident?
you might be able to help
He
him
was
figure out
sent to
another
the
solution.
ICU.
Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Ha ha ha. Very
Oh,
funny.
It's that guy, huh?
I
No
see
wonder,
you.
He looks
Haha.
like he just ate a sour lemon. Paimon approves. Let's go.
Bum,
Hello
bum,
there. Are you
bum.
the guy looking for a new actress?
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my musical?
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot. If
Cap.
we can't find someone to step in, we'll
What's
have no
the
choice but to
timeline
cancel
of
the
this
show.
story quest?
It would be such a shame.
Like, mentally, where am I supposed to be? Is it post Archon?
That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe.
Fuck me, dude.
Just a group
Seemingly
of
a
Okay,
few
so I like
months
need
after
to
the
know
Arkham
like
quest.
in what state is Furina,
All our
basically.
sets and props are very crude.
Right after, okay.
We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
The Golden Troop?
I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah. This is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe.
Normal human?
One
Oh,
last
that's
show.
right.
And after that, we go our separate
She's
ways.
no longer
So we were really hoping to end on a high note.
the
Nobody
Furina
wants things to
anymore.
Just fizzle
She gets to
out.
live a normal life
Not
now.
after all the time and effort we've invested into it.
Did she lose her vision after the Archon quest?
Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness
Oh, she never
ever since
had a vision.
childhood.
Oh,
And
XDD.
unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state
Guys,
to
listen, my
perform.
lore,
The show
besides
just
the
won't be
Archon
the
quest,
same
is
without
fairly
her.
cringe.
But for
It's a
everyone
bit
else's
limited,
sake,
okay?
I still hope we can find a way to
Cut
hold
me
the
some
performance on
slack.
schedule.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas.
Even your
what
Archon
if
quest
we
lore is
sponsored the
cringe.
show?
It's not that
Traveler,
bad.
which more are you carrying?
My Archon quest lore is
Please,
not that bad,
there's
guys.
no need
I
to
like
do
know
that.
like at least these.
It
Fuck
wouldn't
me,
feel
dude.
right
She
asking
has
such a
never had
huge
any
favor.
actual powers,
And I
was
can't
just
promise that we'd
pretending
ever
the
be
whole
able to pay you
time.
back.
That's what the Arkham
Ah,
quest
I see.
established.
It makes sense.
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the Mora, that's not exactly rescuing the show.
Yeah, by the way, if you're wondering what I'm eating, I'm eating
Someone who
sweet
will put on
potato.
The best performance possible.
Because sweet potatoes are very healthy,
What about
and Miss PP made
you
them.
know
So
who? That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have all the free time in the world right now. She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
Did you guys know, by the way?
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone
That
famous.
sweet potatoes have such different colors. Like there's a Japanese sweet potato that's like super purple.
That was a joke.
It almost
right?
looks like an ube root, but
Nope.
it's not.
Paimon doesn't actually know if she's
It's like
performed
really
on
purple.
stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. They were one of the reasons she was so popular. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's
Wendenio,
not like she's
where
suddenly
are these
calmer.
coming from?
She's
Oh, shit.
still an idol to
let me
many
check.
people
Make
in
sure you're not sending any
Fontaine,
messages.
including myself.
You
I
gifted
just think
5
Lady
subs
Furina
earlier in the
might
stream, and now
feel
you
a
just
bit out
gifted
of place
10
in an amateur
subs.
troupe like ours.
Thank you so much. That's so generous of you. You said 10 more gifted if you get a 35 plus CV artifact. Yeah, me getting good artifacts in this game
Well,
is
yes,
is an
but-
unironic rap moment.
But... Fair enough. I mean,
Let me just
if
say,
she was
okay?
actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Furina star in our show. I'm sure the rest of the troupe would be delighted too. I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day.
Heck no, they were
Of
the fun
course,
prime. Appreciate it.
It all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this
I
opportunity.
had a different one. If you
beneath
get 35 CV, I'll
No
give
point
10
in
more.
stressing about that.
Well, save your
We'll
money
only
then,
know if we ask her.
because I'm not getting 35 CV in
Besides,
a
things
very
are
long
different
time.
now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Thank you for your help.
I think we're
guess
checking
I'll
on
just
Furina
stay
right now,
here
right?
and wait for the good news. Good luck.
Just to give you guys a little context, I'm not
where does
really
Furina
caring
actually
about
live
what's
now?
actually going on here.
She used to live in luxury at the Palais
I'm just waiting
Mermonia,
for
but
when
she's,
Furina's time to
moved
shine
out,
is.
right?
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Woo!
Seeing Catherine not behind the booth is kind of weird.
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I could be at the ready in case my
700,545,744
assistance is
Furina
needed.
K.
It is my duty
I
to
know today
support
with a 15 tier 1.
commissioners in any way
Yeah, I
I
don't
can.
think we can do that right now.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm in the
Thank you
middle of a
so
story
much.
quest. XD.
Woo! Now that we've got the address, we'll go find Furina. Back in a jiffy.
Alright, time to go bother Furina. I guess I'll play
Can you
SR in the
give us
background.
the right address? She lives here? Not that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just a bit of a step down from the Palais Mermonia.
Wait a minute.
You know,
Is this
it's
Furina's
common
home?
courtesy to make sure the homeowner isn't in earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Damn. Well, yeah, Paimon, you fucked up there, buddy.
Okay, when did Poppy Gun of Thin Air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
I was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices. when
I
it
really
came to
like her
food,
VA.
But now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too.
Don't you get sticker macaroni every day?
Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
Woo.
Stooge, thank you for 11 of tier 1. Chat, I don't know if I'm fond of this dialogue right now. Why is Paimon being so rude?
How rude. Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity. It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too.
Furina? Listen. I used to meal prep chicken and rice 5 out of 7 days of the week. So you are poggers. Alright, don't listen to this flying emergency piece of shit food.
Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre focilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so
Frog
inclined.
here's Xlice
La
K.
lettre a focilor.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
What the f? I want to skip this part, man. I don't want to hear Paimon's dialogue.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace.
No.
Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoo!
Shoot.
Sorry, we're sorry. Please don't be mad.
Paimon was just showing concern for your well-being. I don't know about that one, Chief. There are better ways to show concern for someone's well-being.
Yeah, exactly what the traveler said. Paimon wasn't trying to make fun of you. Hang on a sec, you weren't exactly holding back either.
That's not important.
My help? Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
If not you, then no one.
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me,
Well, I can see why you guys can
what
see the scene as bad. It is
specifically
heavily
makes
misunderstood.
this matter so specific? Ah, I see. I knew you couldn't have come all this
I think
way
maybe
just
a translation
to amuse
thing,
yourselves
Sam?
at my expense. After all, I was once the brightest star in all
Maybe
of
the thought is
Fontaine,
conveyed differently in
well-versed
other
all
languages.
the various performing arts.
As it
I mean, a
seems,
musical is
and the
well
EN is kinda
within
just
my capabilities. But
rough.
given the present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
How come? It sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage.
Oh,
Although
whoa,
I am no
okay.
longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I
Aware.
once was.
yeah,
Of
that's
course,
reasonable.
that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any
Yeah,
new
that's fine.
roles.
500 years acting a part, and then at the end of the Archon quest, having people crack your persona probably would make you feel a certain way, you know?
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well,
Oh, she let go.
anything else
Okay.
we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare. Do you know any other actors who might be interested in the role?
At least Paimon let go,
No.
chat.
Short and to the
It's gonna be
point,
worse
okay?
if Paimon kept trying to push the
I've
point.
never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, anyone I've ever worked with probably
People's
couldn't
misinterpretation
wait
of the
to get
scene?
rid of me.
Oh, I see.
Since
I'm open to
just
hearing
an ordinary person
What you
now,
guys think?
they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help.
You shouldn't assume the worst of people. What's wrong with making one exception? Pretty naive. That's pretty naive, Chad. Cause like I feel like when I read these dialogue options, obviously like maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I feel like it's every right for Furina to feel the way that she feels. And I feel like it's unreasonable to assume that you should just make an exception because the Traveler and Paimon are asking you to do something. Also, I don't think Furina's assuming the worst of people, right? I don't even think this is right.
True, but I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Oh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it. Nope, not happening.
Oh, she is? She's assuming people will judge or hate her?
Is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't want
This is valid.
job,
This is
nor do I know
totally
of anyone else
Furina's
who would.
right.
Sorry. I didn't mean
No, I
for
don't
that
think that's
to sound
harsh.
so
I think this
harsh.
is literally
I
you
wish I
said
could
no
help,
and
really. But if I
this
thought
story
I
quest is
had the
making you
answer
say
to this
yes.
problem, I would have said so by now.
I'll leave enjoy the quest. Thank you
It's
so much for the
alright,
gift subs,
Furina.
Denium.
Paimon just wanted to make sure
If you're
we
not
tried
returning today,
everything.
then we'll see you maybe in May.
Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so disappointed. Guess that's all we can do now. Alright then, we'll see you around, Furina!
Toodaloo to you too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Sag. I feel like this was pressured a little bit too much.
Huh?
Of course, that's Furina's
What's
story
going on? Are
quest.
they arguing?
Besides the point, I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent?
Uh-oh.
When did I tell you I'm going to take a step back?
Uh-oh.
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Uh-oh.
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has
Dude,
returned.
this part is kind of
Sorry.
weird,
I
man.
was just dealing with a little misunderstanding.
This is so weird.
So, how did your conversation with Furina go?
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
I see. Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all. You see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Oh, right! Sounds like everything worked itself out then.
Imagine if we had convinced Furina to join only for her to find out she's no longer needed. Things would get a little awkward.
Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get the
Thanks,
scolding of a
Avatar.
lifetime.
That'd be a little awkward.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
Only joking, calm down. So, guess we can consider this case closed now, huh? Despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop looking for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you. So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance. We have to make sure it goes ahead.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor.
Medication,
and it's working
okay.
brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So the last thing I want is to be left out. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
Home.
You're right.
People
sorry.
home.
I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on.
Wait a minute.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping list.
Guys, is she being a rat?
All right, I'm coming. No need to drag me. Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation.
This is
just
so
now.
awkward.
Furina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation.
This
you
is so
mentioned.
awkward, guys. I don't even want to be
Yes,
here
a
right
teensy
now.
bit concerned. That's all. When you came to talk with me earlier, I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things. And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Why are you apologizing to
Totally
Paimon?
fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personally.
No one should apologize to Paimon.
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you?
Yeah, sorry.
felt
The
very
dialogue here is pretty
sheepish,
shit, Furina.
Having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like the issue has already been resolved.
Chippy,
Yeah.
chippy, choppa,
When
choppa.
they said they were gonna ask for your help,
Doobie doobie
I
dabba
almost had a
dabba.
heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Furina star in our show?
There's no need to think like that. And no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Furina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll
If you
find a
keep
way
chippa,
through.
chippa, choppa, chop. Sorry.
We all want to believe that, but
I heard chipping and
some
I
things
could
are
not help
just
but
beyond our control.
become
Everything's been going
consumed
downhill ever
by
since we
the
lost our
doobie doobie.
director.
Dabba dabba.
She was the heart and soul of our troupe. She kept us going.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe.
I am
Tragically, she
unfollowing.
Was a
Please
victim
do.
in the serial
God
disappearances
bless.
case.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice. But still, no sentence can bring our
Followed
director back
again.
to us.
No,
She
please.
was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater. She rallied many people around her who were destitute
Oh,
or had
Maj.
lost their sense
Maj,
of
we
purpose
need
in
a-
life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She
Put
wrote her own
the
scripts,
follow
acted
back on the chat.
stage, and mentored each and every one of us. People loved our performances back then. We seemed to
I
be
think
going from strength
Maj
to
turned it off
strength.
for Jay Stern's
Things
raid.
were really looking up for us.
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can, but despite our efforts, things are slowly but surely falling apart. It's agonizing, but ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Oh.
Oh, that's so sad.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt
Oh.
had much more to give.
Oh,
And then her life was so cruelly taken. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides
Oops,
being
that's
your
not the right
farewell
one.
to the stage, is also your final
There we
gift for
go.
her.
Yes, exactly. We all miss her
I don't even know what the
terribly.
R9K is.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
Furina.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member. But only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director. Something I've begun to realize since my departure from the opera Epiclese
Opera
is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high. The law only judges criminal behavior
what song
and
is
does
here?
not weigh human
Folklore
emotion.
theme.
The
Swan
court's
song.
verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens
This baby
to
can
them?
never relate to this lack of Corpa. Everything must be Corpa, guys.
An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time. Take, par exemple, how
Okay.
this troupe pines for their late
I
director.
will be right back,
Things
chat. I need
such as
to
this I have
restroom.
never witnessed
BRB.
before. And so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine. Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
All right, let's go. What happened? Will you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story? Sure.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Furina's performances, as of course we all are. All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size. It's a little on the smaller side.
Go to the rehearsal location. Wait. Ooh, looks kind of cozy.
Huh? Lady Furina?
Lady Furina.
What's Lady Furina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Furina will be supporting our production of The Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Furina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction. You bet! That was the trial of the century!
You
Wow.
helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Oh, please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
So, you were saying The Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if
It's
we
so
can bring
weird
it to the
hearing
stage and make it a successful show,
Bob's Let It
we
Go
can
in the
all take
background.
some solace in that.
Wait, but if it's not finished,
I will admit, guys, it's a little weird.
Yeah.
A bit
We've been
strange.
battling issues on every front, trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary
East
of what the
Land, all
story's
good.
all about. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself
Young
into human
Oceanid.
form, despite the protests of her family. She longed to live just like any other human, and sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything
Need to burp
seemed
louder.
perfect. But one day, her true identity was exposed, and her world
Wieners,
came
wieners up my
crashing
butt,
down
yeah!
around her.
So far,
Eldridge,
so
thank you for
good.
donating
A
500
classic
bits.
tale. What happened
You are
after
100%
that?
drunk.
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script. We need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Yeah, like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Pain.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own. And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist.
Villemont.
He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in
So
the
chat,
city
I'm guessing,
since.
so just
he did
to
write to us, promising
keep
that
up
he'll
in
be there for the final
context,
performance.
the director's
but
death
we
was
haven't
due
seen
to
or heard from
the
him since. So we're not really sure
the
what to make of
crazy
that.
guy who lost his
Although,
wife and was
now that we
trying
have
to
Miss Furina
dissolve
helping
women.
us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
What
Because
opportunity?
otherwise, I kind of just forgot
What do you mean?
that part.
Maybe you're unaware,
Okay.
but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, stop. You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues you've been facing. But one by one, all the obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1. Let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at
Paulo.
with the ending. He went back to Poisson a few days ago. Said
Poisson.
that staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape
All
the
these
feeling
French
of
words.
isolation.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Poisson, poisson. Oui, oui. Poisson. Is something wrong?
Nothing. I suppose my presence will be indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show. So, allons-y.
Ba ba ba. Wait, chat, is that a French term? Alon. How do you even pronounce it? Alonzi? Alonzi? Is that a French term? Alon's why? How do you pronounce that? Yeah, how do you pronounce that? Exactly how Furina said it? I unfortunately was not paying attention when Furina said it. XDD.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
Who is it?
It's me. Is the script ready?
You came all the way here for that?
Alright. Forget that for now. Just come on out. We've got some
I
great
flew in
news.
French, so super chill. Yep, Canadian. I see.
Look, just give me some time, okay? I'm just wrapping up this last part of the script. I'll be out once I'm done.
Okay then. Looking forward to your masterpiece.
So, as expected, he's missed the deadline.
The ending.
Eldridge,
is one
why
of the
do you
most
continuously
important
say
parts of the
Costco?
show. Even once he's done, it
Like, you
isn't
have such
final
an
until we've
interesting
all had the chance
fascination
to
with
read through
Costco.
and make sure we agree on it.
Someone told me they'd just seen
Oh,
you in
God.
Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken
Oh
identity,
god.
but
There
sure
he goes
enough,
again.
Here you are.
Naming off.
And Furina, too.
I was wondering
warehouse
if we might run into
stores.
her.
So, you're here for Paolo? Looks like you could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime. I've
Sub
made all
only
the
chat
arrangements
on or what?
already.
Nope.
Oh, it's okay.
It
We
is
can
not.
just
It
wait.
is almost never sub only chat.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. We'll take that stroll. Get
It's just
over
that
here, you. How
For some reason,
oblivious
most of you
are
guys who are in this chat are subbed. Not for any particular reason.
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Oh, is this supposed to be
Things are on an
awkward?
end, but it's a slow process. Some people may
Navia,
never
Furina.
recover
Why does
from the
Furina
trauma
seem
they
so uneasy
experienced.
around her? Did I forget something?
Sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Is it because of the
Please,
flooding
Must our
and?
conversations take such a
Oh,
depressing
she feels
turn
guilty about the
every
ones that
time we
died.
meet?
I see.
We all have painful memories,
Saddy.
but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you
Poisson
don't bring
incident?
up the past all the
Ah.
time.
Thank you for your words of comfort.
Where nearly
You make a
everyone
very good point.
smoged.
But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than
Saddies.
done. Which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To
Aware.
avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Furina.
Oh.
It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
I see.
That's so thoughtful of you, Navia.
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di
She's just a
Rosula, after
cosplayer,
all.
guys.
Like my father before
Oh, fuck
me.
me,
Anyway,
dude.
that was all.
Let's take a look up there.
So
I
random.
don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with. So maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
Oh, chat.
I'm so grateful that Miss Navia was
Everyone
so
is
understanding.
sussing
To be
Furina.
perfectly honest, I didn't know
Saddies.
if I was ready to meet her. It's always easiest to just run away from your problems. But that never fixes anything. You can't get around the obstacles.
Yeah, you
without
can't just run
facing
away
them.
from your problem. You gotta face them.
So that's why you were nervous when they brought up Poisson.
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of coming back here. Still, I felt it was something I had to do. As I was saying before, I want to see for myself the things that I never could in the past. I'd be overjoyed if the people here could find it in their hearts to forgive me. But they're more likely to unleash a tirade of vitriol against me.
Sag, that's kind of
Which,
true.
Of course, I completely understand and accept.
I'm sure some people didn't buy Navi's
Yeah,
line.
I can tell people are watching me.
Chat, this is so sad. Everyone's kind of like
I'm sure some people here see the idea
Mad.
of someone coming to Poisson dressed
Wait,
as the
why is
Hydro
everyone
Archon
here?
as
Everyone's
extremely
mad.
disrespectful. I used to be terrified of the gaze of other people,
aware.
especially when they had suspicion or resentment in their eyes. I guess I wasn't quite ready for this after all.
Sag.
I'm not surprised you're making yourself go through all of this.
Me too. It's not like you.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, the
You
friends and
expected me
families
to
died.
just keep running and
during that
hiding
flood.
from my responsibility forever.
Look, there seems to be a crowd gathering over there.
They're not staying quiet either.
Probably time we made a move. How about we check out Spina di Rasula's ship? We should have a view of the whole of Poisson from there. I'm sorry. You probably just wanted a relaxing stroll. And here I am dumping all this heavy stuff on you.
We don't mind. It's actually refreshing to see a different side of you.
Great. Well, I appreciate your company, so please don't disappear just yet. I don't know whether you can tell, but the years of suffering and loneliness aren't the only reason I have a hard time facing up to who I used to be. As I stand here by the ship, I
Oh.
can't get the images of the rising water out of my mind. One after another, people were taken by the water. All those
Sag.
treasured lives
She even
and
remembers.
memories washed out of existence in an instant. They thought their god would protect them. They had absolute faith that when
Oh, I see.
disaster
Yeah,
struck,
Hydro Archon
the
didn't really
divine
do anything
power
from
would
their eyes,
save
right?
them from harm. And all the while,
So of course they would
I
feel
played
like,
my part.
yeah.
Oh hey
Perfection
peepers,
to
I
convince
started
them that
playing
was
real
true.
games whenever
But
I
then
have the
the
free time.
floodwaters finally
Warframe is
came.
very cool and so is Dark
And the
Souls and
Hydro
Necropricat
Archon
Boys
did
Paradise.
What the
Lol
fuck?
Fiorina's being sad I am.
Like that.
Dude, okay, Aldrich is 100% drunk, dude. What?
I've had to go
Thanks a lot,
through
bro.
so many moments like that for the sake of protecting the truth. As time went on, it got harder.
Look at him
and harder to
typing.
bear. And I became
I
more
don't
lonely and
gives
isolated.
one fuckers. But
Eventually,
I'm a hush
I
now.
realized I had nothing left except the truth. I became terrified of completely failing in my task and was haunted by the thought of being left all alone.
Bro, I love
weeping
seeing that.
on my throne.
These
Fortunately,
nudes.
we were
Good
able
one, man.
to avoid the
Scratch.
worst case scenario thanks to the help of heroic individuals.
Oh, this
such as
guy,
yourselves.
dude. He's so
Everyone
fucking
rose
gone.
to their responsibilities,
Scratch these
and I
nuts.
finally regained my freedom.
Wieners up my butt, yeah!
On some level,
Mods get him.
freedom
Goodbye, soldier.
also means no longer being needed. I have no further use to
Goodbye,
people.
soldier.
Paimon would have never imagined you'd see it that way.
Think of your freedom as your
A
reward.
reward?
Because now you can finally speak your heart. You don't have to be anguished and alone
I
anymore,
guess so.
Sag.
And back then, And I didn't even dare to dream about having someone to confide in. I was scared of someone recognizing me for who I truly was, and exposing the secret I swore to protect. Believe in the Furina you see on stage. She is the one you can trust. I had to keep all my feelings, all my curiosity about life to myself.
Wait, this dialogue is so
No one
good.
could be allowed to know.
This dialogue I like. It's very real dialogue. Especially as someone who had to play the role of someone for 500 years.
That's what I really meant when I said I'm no good at maintaining relationships.
So that's where you were coming from. Paimon totally thought you were just a bit of a diva at heart.
I think a lot of people...
Please get off my case. I don't know what's gotten into you today. I'm making an effort here. You could at least try to do the same.
I feel like in my opinion, it's not that okay, listen. You guys know I don't really like Furina, or I don't really like Paimon's dialogue, because Paimon's dialogue most of the time is kind of meant to fill in dead time. If you know what I'm trying to talk about, right? Like, if her dialogue wasn't there, there wouldn't be much difference to most of what's being written. But I also do feel like in this particular case, I think that both Furina and the Traveler and Paimon are not on the same wavelength. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a classic case of like, Paimon just doesn't understand how Furina feels, and Furina just doesn't understand how Paimon thinks. And so Furina sounds like Paimon is still giving her a hard time when Paimon is in her way trying to like get to know more about Furina. Well, Paimon meant to say was she doesn't like to see you go down. Do you feel better having gotten all this off all your chest?
I do. I once had nothing but the truth, and now I'm finally free to live my own life again. And even though I have no idea where I'm going right now...
Wait, so chat, if you guys know, if Furina was playing the role for 500 years, and she's no longer needs to play the role, is she still ageless? Or does she grow old like the rest of humans? The curse broke, she's a mere mortal now. That's so weird.
At least the choice is in my hands. All right, it's about time to head back. Paulo should have finished the ending by now.
Sure. Okay, let's head back and check it out.
All right, we had our people sit moment.
Didn't you say you needed to watch what you eat?
Oh,
You're
he's
supposed
mad,
to be cutting down on
Corpa.
fried foods, not wolfing down copious quantities of fish and chips.
So
you
Bitcoin
know?
went down, and Eldridge bet that it would go down, so he made money.
At Spina di
That's
Rosula's expense.
essentially what happened.
Can you believe how generous she is? I'm not about to pass on free food. Anyway, my character doesn't need to be slim and good looking. That's your job.
Are you kidding me right now? It's not your character's health I'm worried about, it's yours. I've spent my whole
Aware,
life
fuck me,
battling
dude.
the effects of ill health.
125
And
X
it kills me
leverage
to
goes
Okay,
watch
hard.
Eldridge,
willingly ruin
I think you
yours
should
by
stop
filling yourself
speaking
up
before
with
you
junk all the time.
reveal too much information.
Oh no, looks like they're arguing again.
Paulo's nearly done. We shouldn't have to wait too much longer.
Great! So you were discussing your characters, right?
Chat, let me check. How many times has
She's
Founder been
playing
timed
the
out?
Oceanid who turns into a human girl.
Ooga booga. Bro, this guy's high as fuck.
Me? I'm an Oceanid too.
He was originally supposed to take the form
did
of a
ooga
crane,
booga, man.
but he outgrew that role. Well, the costume at least. So now he's playing the boar instead.
Sorry.
The boar's not a bad character, actually. He's the one who
fuck
raises
me,
the
dude.
little Oceanid.
Hi, Mr. PP. I
Hi,
hope
Ace,
you
thank you for the
enjoy
100
your
bits.
trip.
That's right.
Make sure
He
you
has some
eat a
pretty
lot of good
memorable
food.
lines, too.
Also, I
Like
say
when he
one
imparts
thing:
some
you
solemn words of wisdom
ara.
to the little
You
Oceanid.
ara.
If you become
With a side
human,
of balls.
you can reveal
Balls.
your secret to
I
no
love a
one.
side of balls.
You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Wait, that sounds kind of familiar.
It's the most important line in the whole script. I think it's a symbolic statement about our director's life and legacy. She
Damn.
kept quiet about all the trials and tribulations she faced in running
Chad, I
our
wonder
troupe,
what Founder's gonna
allowing
do when he
us
comes
to devote
back
ourselves fully to
after 10
performing.
minutes.
It was only after she was gone that we realized how tough her job really was.
You mentioned earlier that the troupe is like your home.
Yeah. I was born with an incurable illness, and once my family found out it couldn't be treated,
Wait, actually?
decided they
Aware.
didn't want me anymore.
Wait, what? That's f***ed
I
up!
spent some years taking whatever work I could find and
Huh?
trying to manage my illness.
This doesn't
with
seem like
various
she's acting, Chad.
medicines.
This seems like she's talking about real shit.
Whenever I had a bad flare-up, I'd be lying in an
Oh, it is
alleyway
real.
for days
It's
at a
about her
time.
sickness.
It was like that until the director found me one day. She told me I had a great voice and asked if I was interested in studying singing from her.
Oh.
I said yes. She took me under her wing, taught me to both sing and act, helped me find Mora for my meds, took care of me when my condition decided to flare up.
Aware.
I know it was all a huge burden on her.
She sounds like a really incredible person.
She really was. She gave everything she had to her troupe and the people in it. All of us were so proud to call her our director. I was a lost child too when she found me. As the child of a murderer.
What the
My
fuck?
parents weren't around when I
Dude,
was
what is
little.
going on in this story
I got
quest?
sent
And
to
why
an
do these
orphanage.
characters have
The other
such
kids
dark
were always picking
pasts?
fights with me. They'd say things like, "Come on, you must be pretty tough if you're the son of a murderer." It was just to taunt me, though. I was an easy target, and they knew it. One day, I got beaten up so bad that I just couldn't take it anymore. So I ran away. I lost all faith in humanity by that point. Thought the whole world was out to get me.
Sad.
Let me guess. Fortunately, the next person you ran into was the director.
Yeah. For the first time in my life, I was somewhere I felt safe. And I promised myself I'd stay here until the day the group parted ways.
The day you hoped would never come.
Oh, he's out.
How times change.
Follow.
Oh, you're finally done? Get your butt over here.
Get
There's
your
someone I
butt
need to
over
introduce you
here,
to.
Paulo.
This is our new artistic consultant, Miss Furina.
Furina? The Furina? Oh my god, how did you manage to wrangle that?
Furina.
Please, the honor is all mine. I was profoundly moved to hear about your troupe and your wonderful director. I just wanted to do something to help.
Same here.
Even so, this is just... Oh wow, I'm sorry. I'll try to calm down. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, the script, of course. Let me give you a rundown of how the story unfolds in my version of the script. I'm sure you're already familiar with the beginning of the story. A little Oceanid decides she wants
You're
to
a
become
great
human
streamer.
against the wishes of her family. She finds love and friendship
see.
in the bustling city. But then,
That seems
disaster
awfully
strikes. The
similar
people start
to a
to
certain
notice that
emo.
all the fresh water in the surrounding area is slowly disappearing.
Smile.
The soil is becoming arid, plants and flowers are withering, and the people begin to panic. The little Oceanid, Cleo, and her lover decide to do something about it and investigate the truth of the matter together. In the end, they discover that all the waste and pollution created by humans over the years
Wait,
has
Chad,
caused
is
the
Founder's
fresh water to
timeout
flee
over?
the land, as if driven by a
Let's check.
consciousness of its own.
Consciousness? You mean the water is sentient?
Water as a conscious entity. There's
Oh.
actually quite a few stories that explore this theme.
Since the little Oceanid is a water spirit, she immediately understands how the water is feeling.
It should be
She
over
then
like a
tells
minute.
Her lover about her true
True.
identity, as well as the truth behind the crisis. Her lover accepts her for who she is, and works with her to find a way to bring the water back. However, unbeknownst to them, there were some people eavesdropping when she revealed her secret. The little Oceanid is accused of being directly responsible for driving the water away, and faces the greatest dilemma of her life.
And then?
In the end, she makes the brave decision to sacrifice herself to save her lover and the rest of humanity.
Whoa.
But didn't they all treat Cleo like a villain? Why would she want to save them after that?
Well, she mainly wanted to save her lover, plus everyone who'd stood up for her.
Through her love for her human partner, she was able to find an even greater love, one that extended to all of humanity. Surely the biggest strength of Cleo's character.
There's actually something else that bothers me. You know the protagonist is supposed to represent the director, right? And she never had the chance to become a hero in our world. If we're serious about dedicating this show to her memory, we should make the ending as true to life as possible. What about if the little Oceanid is hounded to death by people who hate her, her lover makes sure her secret never gets out, and humanity continues down the path to extinction?
That sounds like too cruel of an ending to me.
What the hell?
And perhaps a little irresponsible to present to the audience.
That ending would be a perfect mirror to Director Aureli's death, both arbitrary and meaningless. On the day when she went missing, Director Aurelie had instructed us all, somewhat out of the blue,
Is the
to leave the
sparkle
court of Fontaine
propaganda
and wait
real?
for her outside the city. We waited and waited at the rendezvous point, but she never came.
Maybe that message wasn't meant for
By
me,
the
and
time
my
we
at
returned to the
mention was
city,
there on
She
accident.
disappeared without a trace. We looked for her. The Gardamex looked for her, but she was nowhere to be found. Increasingly, all the signs seemed to point to her being the latest victim in the serial disappearances case.
Got a mix.
The director was the kindest soul in the world. Yet she was senselessly sacrificed for the sake of a so-called experiment by someone who had nothing to do with her at all.
But doesn't the way she suddenly told you to leave the city suggest that maybe she had some sense of what was about to happen? It almost seems as if she was moving you to safety.
I've been trying to follow up on that ever since, but all my efforts so far have turned up nothing. Villemont might know something, but he won't open up to me.
Villemont? The one who's playing the role of the villain?
Yeah. He's been overwhelmed by grief. I think the director's death hit him hardest of all.
Grief? Guilt, more like. Also, I have a hard time imagining that anyone took it harder than me. Because, well, speaking of the play being true to life, I was deeply, madly in love with Aurelie.
Oh. Damn. That sucks, man.
What? You kept that one quiet.
What the f? Wait, this is so weird. How do we get to this stage, boys?
It's time to be upfront with you all. No more keeping secrets from each other. We'll never be able to agree on the ending if we can't be honest about how we feel.
This is so weird. Isn't she dead? Dude, okay, I'm not gonna lie, chat. This kind of feels weird, man.
I did tell her how I felt once, but she turned me down pretty much straight away.
I might be cringing right now.
She said that we were all like brothers and sisters to her, and she'd never considered us as potential romantic partners.
Hey.
Not that it came as a shock or anything. It was what I was expecting to hear. So I told her I'd always be there for the troupe, and I'd always be there for her. I said,
God, Eldridge is
maybe one
essaying
day in
now.
the future, when everyone's settled into their own lives and on the up and up, and managing the troupe no longer required her constant attention, well, maybe then she could reconsider what she really wanted in her life. And now, that day will never come.
Oh, Paulo.
So if I'm the one writing this ending, then I'm gonna make sure it does right by Aurelie. I won't let anyone get in the way of that.
In that case, you have to straighten things out with Villemont once and for all, face to face.
Okay.
We've all had our differences of opinion over the ending, but those two have never seen eye to eye on anything. One of them has to compromise if we're ever going to reach a final decision.
Well, if that's where we're at, looks like it's time to go visit Villemont.
Are you ready to face the truth?
Honestly,
This is a little
slightly terrified.
awkward, boys.
But for the sake of our final performance, I'll do whatever it takes. Funny you should ask, though. You really do get what I'm going through right now.
I certainly do. Come on, everyone. Allons-y.
Allons-y. Is that how you pronounce it? Allons-y.
Ugh, as if this journey wasn't tough enough already without a roadblock.
Don't worry. We should all be fine with the traveler here. We don't need to take a detour.
More than half K.
Wait, why are you all looking at me?
The sweet potato
You're
plant
not seriously expecting me to fight, are you?
We're just curious, that's all.
Also, I
I don't think anyone's ever seen Furina in a fight before.
Yeah, but don't you remember why? The Hydro Archon willingly gave up all her power so it could be converted into indemnitium. Miss Furina said so herself.
Precisely. And I'm not even the Hydro Archon anymore, so all my power is gone anyway.
Actual XDD moment.
As much as it pains me, unfortunately, I should just stay put. I'm more like a damsel in distress more than anything.
That sounded so smug. Ugh, secondhand embarrassment is unbearable.
C'est la vie. Wow.
C'est la vie indeed. Alas, I am forced to watch on helplessly as a more brave and seasoned adventurer than I swoops in to save the day.
Wow.
Aw, too bad. I was so pumped to feast
So,
my
Eldridge,
eyes
what the
on
hell
fight
did you
mode
just say, bro?
Furina.
Sorry to leave all the heavy lifting to you.
Don't worry, piece of cake.
Defeat the monsters.
Scraps of color. Scatter! Electria! Watch out!
There's more? Aw, shit.
Attack! Bravo! Good show! You certainly live up to your reputation.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, the path is cleared now, so onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards.
Vilma, are you there?
Vilmont!
Huh? Oh, it's you guys. Wait, what's Lady Furina doing here?
I can explain. We've been rounding up the whole troop. We now have everyone except
Why
you.
are there so many okay, never mind. So many
So,
bots on Twitter, dude.
You think knowing the truth about the director's disappearance will help you write an ending to the script that pleases everyone? I care just as much as everyone else about making the little Oceanid a success. That's why I wanted to wait until after the show. If I open this can of worms now, I just don't want to make things difficult between us.
Uh-oh. What's going
We're
on
supposed
here?
to be a unit when we're on stage.
Vilmont, avoiding the truth will not help anyone.
Vilmont.
Unless you mean to suggest that Aurelie's death had something to do with you.
I don't want to talk about it.
Huh? That sounds a little sus.
Listen, Vilmont. I used to think that my love for Aurelie was a point of shame. I never brought it up to anyone. But now, I've made up my mind to put it all on the table. I'm prepared to face everything, to sacrifice everything for the sake of the show. The little Oceanid cannot be complete unless we do justice to Aurelie on an emotional level.
This is why people think of you as not being the smart one.
What the? Oh, damn.
As you all know already, the troupe was kept afloat not from ticket sales, but donations from the audience. Of course, that was nowhere near enough. We took on side jobs when we weren't performing, but
Damn.
even then, the troupe's financial situation was pretty dire. So, anyway, one day after a show, a merchant came to me and offered us a huge sponsorship. In return, we just had to provide the audience with their drinks during performances. It seemed like a win-win, so I said yes to it on the spot without consulting the director. It was only when the merchant came to deliver the goods that I realized the drink in question was synth.
Bro?
Isn't that the drink paddled by the culprit behind the serial disappearances case?
Okay.
I freaked out when I saw the boxes. And I told the director everything right away. She was completely shocked as well. But she didn't reprimand me for making the decision without consulting her. Instead, she contacted the merchant and stated that the troupe could not agree to this collaboration. The merchant was furious, berated us for going back on our word, and threatened to sue us for damages.
Uh-oh.
The amount was astronomical. There was no way we'd be able to pay.
And then?
I was going to sort it on my own, but the director stopped me. She said that this was an issue for the whole troupe, and it wasn't my fault.
Damn.
But things only got worse from there. The synth merchant just wouldn't let up, and then suddenly the director told us all to leave the city one day. I knew then that things must have reached a boiling point. I admit this whole thing was my mistake. I didn't dare to tell any of you the truth back then, and after the director disappeared, I was even more afraid to say anything.
You brought the director to the attention of the synth dealers. Your mistake gave them a motive to kidnap and murder her. Is that true?
Yeah.
What the f?
Got Aurelie killed. There, I said it. Happy now?
Hey, don't say that.
You traitor! You knew Aurelie was in danger. Why in God's name didn't you tell us? What do you mean, you were afraid? This was a life and death situation. We could have saved her! How could you be so stupid?
Please, try not to get too worked up.
Yeah, listen to him. You need to stay calm.
Stay calm? How can I stay calm? This guy got Aurelie murdered. She was the love of my life.
Sad.
He has the gall to try and high road us, claiming that he kept his mouth shut for the
Just
sake
calm
of the
down,
show.
forehead. Yeah, good one.
How about taking some responsibility for what he's done?
All I can say is I'm sorry. Truly. I wanted to apologize to
Sash.
everyone in the troupe, but that won't bring back the director. What good is my apology now? I'm just a coward who made an awful, terrible mistake that I can never take back. Beat me up if you want. Kill me if you prefer. It's what I deserve.
Wow.
In my life.
Strong
So I can meet
words.
the director and apologize to her in person.
Jesus.
Get out of my sight. Go, get lost. I don't ever want to see your face again.
That's enough! You've screamed and shouted at each other for long enough. Now pipe down, both of you!
Monko.
Can you stop conflating the show on stage with your real-life relationships in the troupe? You keep saying that you want to use this final performance to pay tribute to your director and celebrate her life. How can you do that if you're just using it as an excuse to vent your own emotions?
Aware.
You're right.
I'm sorry.
On stage, the lead role is the focal point of the audience's attention. And you're all used to seeing the director as the heart of the troupe. But in her own life, her greatest desire wasn't to be the center of attention.
Enjoyed the vacay.
Thank you, Defense. Thank you for 10 of Prime.
And how much she loved the troupe. What she wanted was to build a warm home for all of her brothers and sisters. To shield you all from the storms that rage in the world outside. That's how you should remember her. And that's what you should be celebrating. I understand why you're trying to make her the hero of the story, but isn't she your hero already? After everything she did for you?
Yeah.
So think hard about what that means. And then think again about what you hope to achieve by arguing with each other. If you really hate each other and can't reconcile your differences, then you could just call it quits
What day are you
now.
leaving? 2 days
Why
from now.
bother with the final performance if the group is
Or actually,
already
like,
fractured? But you can't
36
bring yourself
hours
to do
from
that,
now.
can you? You care too much about Director Aurelie and the home she built you all to let go. What are you laughing at? I don't see what's so funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean it that way. It's just that, for a moment there, it felt like our director was back with us again. If she'd seen Paulo and Villemont at each other's throats like that, she would have scolded them exactly like you did, in that same stern voice.
Really? but she sounded like such a gentle person.
Of course she was.
The
Even
chest
her
in the
harshest
back. Is there
lectures came
actually a
from
chest
place
in the
of
background?
kindness, and it showed.
I'm paying attention to the
She
dialogue.
really was a truly outstanding person.
What you said, it
Wait, really?
really puts everything into perspective.
I'm truly sorry. I really meant for this to be a genuine apology, but I ended up making it all about me and my self-pity.
It's all right. Let's save all this for after the performance.
So, the ending. What are we gonna do about it?
Clearly, everyone needs to take a step back for now and reflect on what really matters.
Appreciate it.
When emotions are running high, things get lost in the fray. The end of the story needs to focus back on Aurelie herself.
There's no chest.
She's the true star of the show.
It might actually be possible to find out more about her fate.
What do you mean?
The Traveler is right. You once investigated
Well, there's a puzzle I haven't
underwater
done.
synth base and recovered items belonging to the victims. If you could find
Have good beds,
anything
Laura.
that Aurelie left behind, perhaps we can get a better sense of what she went through in her final
Guys,
days.
you guys have challenges lying
You
around
really
too,
think
not
that's
just me,
possible?
okay?
I trust that nobody would object to the ending of the story being based on Aurelie's true feelings.
No.
Well, we'll leave this in your capable hands.
Come, let's pay a visit to the Palais Mermonia.
Palais
The rest
Memoria.
of you, head back to the rehearsal location for now and wait for our good news.
Come, let's pay a visit.
You want to review some recovered items connected to victims of the serial disappearances case? But, that case has been closed for quite a while now. Still, since you were the ones who discovered and submitted the evidence in the first place, you don't actually have to submit an application. Okay, please hold on. I'll have someone dig them out.
So, this is all Aurelie left behind. Just whatever she was carrying on her person and this tattered old notebook.
Hey! It's full of script lines! And sketches too! Looks like they show where the different props should be placed on stage.
Let me take a look. Maybe
Let
there's
me
something
take
in
a
here
look.
from after she was kidnapped. Aha! I found something. To whoever discovers this diary. Let's see. Looks like she kept a detailed record of her captor's actions. She even mentions the truth behind the experiments on dissolving young women. If we'd had the chance to examine this notebook carefully back then, it would have been a conclusive piece of evidence proving Vacher's guilt.
Vacher took so many lives. It's still so unthinkable how many victims he had.
I guess Aurelie must have written all of this down in the hope that her records would one day be of use to investigators. Wait, it cuts off.
Is something wrong?
Her handwriting here gets patchier and more illegible by the line. She probably didn't have much strength left. Her final words are...
Monka.
I'll let you read them for yourselves.
What did she say? Someone else was taken. That makes 6. Or perhaps the 7th. Someone tried to escape yesterday but was caught. She hasn't been seen since. Was that yesterday? Maybe not. I've long since lost track of time. Sorry, I don't know if writing this is of any use or how much longer I can do it for. I can already see my fate approaching. But what terrifies me even more is the thought of seeing others from the troop here. Have I truly protected them? Sorry, I can write no more. I think I have a fever and my old stomach troubles have returned, but nobody has given me any medicine. I suppose I'm more fortunate than Cressy. The pain keeps her awake all night. Wait. If anyone sees this, troop safe, I, them important. Why is Cleo's name here? Please farewell, apologize, life perform future, regret Cleo. Huh. Let's see.
She was so terrified.
She watched a girl get dissolved right in front of her and had to wait for her own death in silence.
She may have been a mighty hero in the eyes of her troop, but at the end of the day, she was only human. I can't bear to think how painful and lonely her
like a
final
torture
days must
chamber.
have been.
Damn.
Wait, this part on the last page sounds strangely familiar.
Wait, flipping through the notebook, the lyrics continue. One page has been torn out, folded up, and placed next to the last blank page. At the bottom are two new lines Aurelia has written. If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want? Because I am an older sister to them. I love them. Isn't this talking to Furina? Like, who else would this be talking to? If you become human, you can reveal your secret to... Wait, I'm confused.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Isn't that the most important line in the Little Oceanid?
Oh, is it from the play?
Because I am an older sister to them.
Okay.
Oh.
So she didn't regret her decision. Even as she sat in silence, waiting for death to come. I'm sure this is what the troupe would have hoped to hear as well. She had their utmost trust, admiration, and love, and she truly deserved it. Let's go. It's time for them to learn Director O'Reilly's final thoughts.
I see. Okay, we're here. After reading through the notebook, some are lost for words, some weep, and some grind their teeth and howl with rage. A long time passes before the group is able to calmly come together and finally make a decision.
She deserves a hero's farewell. If that's the only way to convey to the audience the courage and selflessness that she showed in the face of death, then it's a meaningful way to end the story.
Even in the last moments of her life, she was still leaving a trail for
Dude,
others to
all of
follow.
my tweets have bots in them, and I hate it. I don't know how to remove them.
People as possible, even if it meant sacrificing herself. We know what choice our little Oceanid would have made now.
I don't know what to do about it, man.
I don't think any more discussion is necessary. Well,
I'm gonna
Vilmont,
pause SR.
if we put the past aside for now, do you think you can bring yourself to go ahead with the show?
I will channel all my regret and put it into my performance to make this a show worthy of our director. I won't ask for your forgiveness, and you don't need to worry about my feelings. This final farewell show should be about Director O'Reilly and her alone.
Then it seems like we've reached a consensus. I have a feeling that this will turn out to be the most mesmerizing performance of your lives.
Really? How can you be so sure when you've never even seen them perform before?
Don't underestimate my experience. After watching a countless number of musicals, I've learned one important thing. If you want to move the audience with your music, you must fully commit and immerse yourself in your role, pouring all your emotion into your performance. And aren't human emotions, love, hate, regret, and hope, just the most mesmerizing things in this world? I don't believe anybody could be more committed to bringing this story to life on the stage than they are now.
Thank you for the vote of confidence, Miss Furina.
No, this is not the Archon
for supporting
quest.
us through all this.
Then,
Furina's
let's
story
not
quest.
delay things any longer. We need to discuss the details of the ending and get it nailed down once and for all.
Actually, before that, I'd like to make a proposal. During the curtain call, please allow me to use the director's name instead of my own.
Oh.
Huh? But then...
After all, this role was originally meant to be played by the director. I'm just filling in for her. Besides, a role commemorating her life should be associated with her name.
Well, If you're sure you're okay with that, I have no objection to it.
Now we're talking like a serious acting troupe. All right.
When are you
I'll
back
leave
from
you
your
to
trip?
fine-tune
May.
your musical while I go and procure a stage.
It's a
You're
time.
a stage?
Oh, it's okay. Our usual place doesn't need a reservation.
That place? Oh, don't be silly. For an extraordinary show, we need an extraordinary
Opera
stage.
Epiclese.
By which I, of course, mean the Opera Epiclese.
Opera Epiclese?
Whoa, wait, what?
What?
No. That's never going to work. It's far too fancy for the likes of us.
What are you afraid of? Surely you don't think that Aurelie's story is unworthy of the grandest stage in Fontaine.
No, though that's not what I meant.
It is supposed to be your grand finale, right?
Go big or go home.
I have no problem with it then. How about the rest of you? I'll take your silence as a yes. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. It really is a dream come true.
Well, then don't disappoint me. If you mess this up, it'll reflect poorly on me too. Come on. We'll need to get the go-ahead from Nervilette. I know
Nervilette.
just where to find him. I knew you'd be here.
Hello.
I'm here merely for a short break. It has been a while, Miss Furina. And you too, traveler in Paimon. What might I assist you with today?
I would like to book the Opera Epiclese for an
Oh,
event.
are you sleeping?
You see...
You share the story
I understand.
of the little Oceanid.
The process for booking the Opera Epiclese is complex and can be somewhat cumbersome. But given that the request is coming from the three of you, I see no reason to make things unduly difficult. The story of the little Oceanid is most fascinating. I'm looking forward to seeing it performed on stage. I will say, however, that I am surprised to see your passion for the performing arts rekindled after all that has happened.
Huh? What do you mean? Do I look excited?
Yes, and this is the first time that I've seen you like this since your departure from deityhood.
At first, I just felt bad about rejecting them. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about their situation. But one thing led to another, and... well, here we are. In the past, we sat in our high chairs in the court, giving our opinions on isolated cases, all while knowing very little about the human stories behind each and every one. Maybe it's because I finally become an ordinary person and gained my freedom, but I've developed a great sense of curiosity about their lives.
I am truly delighted to see you find a new lease on life. Now that you've regained some confidence, have you had any thoughts regarding a return to the stage?
Why would you suddenly ask a question like that?
Well, if the little Oceanid turns out to be a great success, it will no doubt become a classic. Many theater companies are certain to add it to their repertoire. The experiences and decisions of the protagonist Cleo are all modeled after your own. Naturally, this makes you eminently suited to playing the leading role. It would truly be a shame if you did not take this opportunity to allow audiences to enjoy your outstanding acting talents once more.
Damn.
Haven't I already made myself clear? I won't act or perform in any role ever again. No exceptions. Nor do I think it is any great shame. There is no lack of fine actors or inspirational stories, either on or off the stage. This experience is a case in point. I feel like I've learned a lot, and it has already been well worth the price of admission.
Okay.
I must admit, though, I'm a little envious. They're quite fortunate to be able to bid farewell to their past in such a magnificent manner.
I see. Well, I'm glad to learn that you have found a role to play that you enjoy, be it on the stage or not. I sincerely hope the show will serve as the grandest of finales. I will have my staff book the date and mail the relevant paperwork to the troupe once the details are confirmed.
Thanks, Nervilette.
You are very welcome.
Dialogue from Papa is quite nice. Okage business.
Good news, everyone. It's done. The Opera Epiclese is booked. Thanks to my eloquent and impassioned speech, Monsieur Neuvillette was moved to provide us with a fitting stage for this special performance. We've had to fight every step of the way for this opportunity, but we now have all of the ingredients necessary to stage a truly spectacular performance. A touching story, a magnificent venue, and last but not least, a passionate and dedicated cast. Now,
Yay.
Let's work together and make this show the best it can be.
This is truly wonderful.
The sooner we can finalize the ending, the more time we'll have to rehearse. Fiamma and I just went over some parts of the script and tweaked a few things. I think it's really going to resonate with the audience now.
Wow, you two had a constructive
They made up.
conversation? That's great!
Communication is vital to any good performance.
Look at us. We've come so far. I never could have pictured this scene a few days ago.
It's amazing! Even though Furina's still being a bit of a drama queen about it all, she's really fired everyone up!
I'm looking forward to the final production.
Please feel free to give us any comments or suggestions you have. We really value your input.
Hey, Loic, get over here. Time to practice the opening number.
Is this just a static screenshot? Oh, it's like a slideshow.
Cursed Cleo. She stole the waters of life
Oh.
from us. She's a fraud, and she must pay for her crimes.
This has nothing to do with her. The ignorance and hatred of our people is to
Played by
blame.
Palo.
How can we hope to win back the water's favor if we don't change our ways?
This guy could be
Played by
useful.
Villemont.
Take him hostage. If Cleo wants him back, she'll have to show herself.
Leave this place, oh little Oceanid, and never, ever look back!
People clap.
Everyone's really throwing themselves into their roles. I haven't seen such
Is
a
she gonna be
fine
okay?
performance
Is her
in a
illness
long
coming up?
time. If only.
What should we do? It's
Oh,
almost
no.
time for her to take the stage!
Why? Why does it have to be now?
Sag.
Hey, what's going on? You're due on stage any second now. Oh no, not again. But why? What about your new meds? Did they stop working?
Sag.
They've been getting less and less effective over time. I've had to keep increasing my
That's
dose.
not good.
What? I thought they cure it. So they were only managing your symptoms?
I figured whatever it took to get me through this final performance.
Oh.
How could you do this to yourself? And after that lecture you gave me about not looking after my health.
I'm sorry. I've let everyone down.
You... This is a conversation for another time. How can the show go on without its star performer?
Is it Furina's time? It must be Furina's
Miss
time.
Furina, I'd like to make a request of you.
Say no more. If you're sick, you need to rest. I know what you're going to ask.
Oh?
Loic, your character has no more scenes, correct?
Oh, yeah. I think my scenes are all done. Although, I do have one more line. But I guess another guy in the troupe with a similar voice register could take it. Why?
Please take Delphi back to her place to rest.
Ooh.
I'll sing the finale.
Wow.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
She ended up doing it.
After all that, everything's come full circle.
Thank you, Miss Furina. I'm so sorry to put you in this position after everything you said.
Never mind. What's done is done. It's really my own fault for getting in too deep. No one likes regrets, myself included. Leave it to me. I've watched you rehearse so many times that I've learned Cleo's part by heart.
I do not doubt your acting skills, but please allow me to ask just one more question. After all, this show is dedicated to the life and legacy of our director. What, in your opinion, is the reason Cleo shines so brightly?
It's her pure heart. Despite all the pain and loneliness she had to endure.
Damn.
She never once stopped believing in the beauty in this world.
That's her for real.
Well said.
That's her for real.
I leave Director O'Reilly in your hands.
All right. Oh, what a scene. What an entrance.
Is she here yet?
Will she get here?
She's not coming!
You're wrong. She's here.
Oh. The animation's kind of clean. Oh, I see. It's this song.
But what about your wish?
My wish.
If you become human, you can reveal your secret to no one. You will face suffering and loneliness. Is this truly what you want?
Damn, what the fuck? So was she granted a Hydro Vision after the story quest? Oh.
Is it just me? Or was that Lady Furina on the stage just now?
No way!
She hasn't been seen for a while now, and she just appears out of nowhere?
Furina!
Gotta say, though, her acting skills are as superb as ever.
The little Oceanid, Cleo, played by Aurélie Fumont.
Wait, that's not her name. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a doppelganger.
I've spent a lot of time out of the spotlight, and they didn't use my name during the curtain call either. Hopefully, not too many people recognized me.
Surely.
It's too bad that I had to break
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
clear
yeah.
rule I'd managed to make for myself, even if I had no choice. Still, I have to admit that, despite everything, it felt good to be back on the stage again.
Yay, people
Finally,
clap.
we would like to give a special thanks to our artistic consultant and event coordinator, Miss Furina.
Hey, that's not what we agreed on.
That's an XDD, dude.
Oh, so it was Furina after all.
She's back.
Honestly, what is he doing? He should have run that by me first.
All right, calm down. Don't be mad. This was a group decision. We just didn't want your contributions to go unacknowledged. After all, it's been the rule in Fontaine since ancient times that everyone's work, visible or invisible, is equally deserving of recognition.
Yes, I know the rule, but it should still be applied on a case-by-case basis. I wasn't ready for this yet.
People shy.
It's no big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, just sign a bunch of autographs.
Oh, yeah? Well, since you think it's so easy, you can sign them for me.
Damn, she's got sass.
Great cat and all, but can we talk about that crazy thing that happened during the show? It nearly gave Paimon a
If
heart
it's so
attack.
easy.
Paimon flew over to where she was supposed to be and was about to drop the prop vision, and then suddenly, a real one popped out of thin air!
Oh, XDD.
Oh, that.
Oh.
I've got no idea what happened there either. But hey, it worked pretty well, didn't it? I'll bet the audience has never seen such a realistic prop.
Wait, what about Dolphy? I wonder how she's doing.
Oh, let's go check on her as soon as we finish clearing the stage.
Yes. Plus, she'll definitely want to hear how the end of the show went. If nothing else, we can safely say that we accomplished what we set out to do.
Ah, you're back.
You're back.
She's doing okay. Her condition stabilized after taking some of her original medication. From experience, though, I'd say she still needs a few more days of rest.
How did the performance go? Was it a success? Did the
I'd
audience
say so.
like it?
You'll be glad to know it was fantastic! Also, you're not gonna believe what happened while Furina was on the stage. You'll probably be able to read all about it in the Steambird first thing tomorrow morning.
That's wonderful. I'm so sorry I failed to see it through to the end. I guess I was wrong to try and tough
You're gonna
it
be
out
gone
to
for a month?
begin
Yeah.
with.
No, don't worry about it. Like they told me after announcing my name during the curtain call, everyone's work deserves recognition. Even though you couldn't see it through to the final scene, the audience was very impressed by your performance. It's safe to say that you made your mark on this memorial show.
Well, one way or another, we did it. I've had bad luck ever since I was born, so I never expect things to go smoothly in life. I'm just happy to know that we went out on a high note. That's all that matters.
The bad life seed.
Blaming your bad luck again, are we? Maybe if you didn't push yourself past your limits so much, your illness wouldn't be flaring up all the time.
Oh, don't you start. I don't have the energy to argue with you right now.
Aw, you two clearly care a lot about each other.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean we never stop arguing with each other?
Humph.
So, any plans for the next step?
Where?
After the brilliant performance you put on, the reputation of your troupe is sure to spread through Fontaine like wildfire. You won't have to disband if you don't want to. You could capitalize on the rave reviews and license out the little Oceanid to the bigger theater troupes out there. That would do wonders for your financial situation.
No,
Orba.
we should still disband.
Wow, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's what we all agreed to.
Wow.
After all that's happened, I should give you guys some space. But maybe our paths will cross again one day.
Damn.
Hey, don't just walk off!
Damn. Wow, he actually just left. What the f-
I still want to keep performing, so I might join another troupe.
Damn.
After watching Miss Furina's performance, I think I'm starting to understand our director's infatuation with musicals.
You should do it. It suits you. I'd originally hoped to keep performing too, but I don't know if my health will allow me to.
Oh, so now you finally got your priorities in order. I guess I'll hold off until you've properly recovered as well. What about you, Miss Furina? Any future plans?
Well, frankly, I think a return to obscurity is no longer an option
Too
for me.
popular.
I'm sure a slew of consultancy requests will hound me wherever I go until I finally acquiesce. You rather sealed my fate there with your special thanks at the end of the show.
Yes.
Ruby, thank you for 17
Sorry.
and tier 1. Welcome back. Appreciate it.
It's quite all right. No need to apologize. What I meant to say is that this whole
It's gonna be unmuted in the
experience
VOD,
has shown
y'all.
me that perhaps I'm not
Of course, I
as
do think the
averse
game
to
volume was
a
low, but it's
return to
okay.
the stage as I previously imagined. Maybe Nervilette was right. Maybe Cleo is the right role for me. I still don't wish to pretend to be someone else, but I do have a desire to
Ooh.
express myself. So, maybe the show will go on for me after all.
Just do whatever feels right.
Yeah. There was once a time when I was an actress in a masquerade, seeking only to hide the truth. But from now on, I want to spend my time learning real stories about real people and how they touch the lives of others around them. I want to watch them blossom and wither, see them refined on the page, retold on the stage, and remembered long into the future. I'm sure this is what captivated director O'Reilly as well.
Sounds like you're ready to stop running from your true calling. The more you get out into the world, the more you'll discover what a fascinating place it is.
Next time, I'll invite you to join me.
Then it's a deal. If a vision is a gift from the
Oh,
gods,
fuck me,
then
dude.
I should do
Furina's
my
the
best
first
to honor
official
it.
recruit to fuck Celestia.
Interesting, Dono.
It's ironic to think that in my whole time as a god, I could only ever dream of receiving this kind of power.
Fuck me, dude.
Okay,
now that
now
the
read
gods
the
have
lore
given
about
me their
using her
blessing,
vision for the first
It
time.
actually feels more like I'm finally able to take my fate in my own hands. Is that how humans feel about it as well?
Why are you guys XDDing over that? Oh, vision. Oh my f***ing god, way too dank. What the hell is this fat essay, bro? And once she had finally cleaned up things up together with the salon members.
Start after also, it is worth.
What? So now the last two paragraphs. It's worth mentioning that though she seemed quite calm upon receiving the vision, so much that she even managed a few fine words, upon leaving the theater troupe, Furina immediately set off after to avenge herself on the local legend she had once angered by accident, which ended quite poorly for her. She returned home, dejected but not defeated. She spent all night studying her vision, which ended up causing the entire building to flood. And when she had finally cleaned things up together with the salon members, she received a final missive from the apartment manager. No pets allowed in these apartments, even if they are... Oh, her summons. She's such a goofball, man. Alright, that's it, boys.